So you want to become the Wizard of Oz, the Rizzler himself, Timothy Jones, whatever the kids are saying nowadays. You want to get more women, you want to attract more women, you want to have better relationships with women, you want to make sure that girl that you likes you back, and that you can get her, and that y'all can have a great time together, right? Well, let's talk about the secret to that. So, in my life, I've definitely attracted my fair share. Enjoyed, had fun with my fair share of the opposite gender, females, right? And number one key I've learned through life to keeping, attracting women is be yourself, king. Just be yourself, king. Just be yourself, king. Now, before y'all click off the video, right? Because it's like, oh, I thought he was going to give away some secret text message or some secret code approach, pickup line, this or that. It's really not that complicated, bro. So let's talk about it. First things first, when I say be yourself, I specifically mean be the best version of yourself. Because there's a lot of dudes out there that's not the best version of yourself. More so, they're not a man first. And that's the biggest key as a man trying to attract a woman, is you want to be a man first. So a lot of us, we grew up in a society, in environments where, we never was really taught how to be a man, how to become a man, what it takes to be a man, what is a man, all this good stuff. So what I encourage you all to do to learn how to be a man, what is masculinity, what is the greatest version of that, let's go study the Bible. The Bible is our basic instructions before leaving earth. And, God went in depth when he created men, specifically what their assignment was. Now, I go a little bit more in depth on this in a video titled, What to Focus On as a Young Man. Y'all can check that out on my channel. But, the biggest key with being a man is being yourself. There's a lot of times where, people aren't authentic, and they try to put on an act, and they try to put on the front that, oh, I'm this super cool guy, and they put on that persona. Or I'm this super funny guy, and they put on that persona. Or they put on the persona of, I'm so super successful, or I'm so big and strong, and I can do this, I can do that. And they try to act, for women, right? But women are smart. Women are more intuitive than men, so they could pick up on vibes and energy more than anything. And when you're not being yourself, it's easily noticeable, right? You can easily tell when someone's not being authentic. And we think that women are dumb, so we try to be inauthentic towards them and expect them to reciprocate, that type of energy, which they typically do, which is why y'all probably attract a lot of fake women, if that's how you've been showing up. But instead, what I've learned, through trial and error, through trying it all, like, I'm not saying I'm better than nobody. Like, I was the one that, was trying to play too cool for school sometimes, or overcompensate with certain success and different things like that. Or, try to, just do all these different tactics and stuff to get women, right? And, not to say that it didn't work, it just wasn't that effective long term. And really what is the most effective for not only getting women, attracting women, retaining women, but also for yourself and your own self-esteem, your own sense of self-worth, is the ability to be yourself. Now, if you a goofy, nerd type of, not nerd in the way that being smart is bad, but nerd in the way to where you're shy, insecure, these different personality traits. First of all, that's not really you. That's not your true self. Like, that's just, again, this mask that you put on for society because you're scared or have fear of the repercussions. But reason I say, refer to the Bible for proper instructions on how to be a good man is because you'll learn in the Bible that God is love and we were created in God's image. So a man should be the embodiment of love, and perfect love casts out fear. So we shouldn't be in fear at all, and therefore it allows us to be ourselves. Because in order to be yourself authentically everywhere, no matter where you are, you have to love yourself. You have to have a high sense of self-value, self-worth. Because when you do have that high sense of self-value, self-worth, you don't care about other people's opinions, because you like how you feel. You like how you act. You like how you dress. You like your own hair. You like how you talk. You like how you live life. You like what you do. You like the life you've created for yourself. And when you're genuinely content with your own self, now you can show up authentically no matter what. And again, that's going to be the biggest key in attracting women. So not only are guys embodying love, but we also embody dominion and faith. So these are more traits of the truest, best version of yourself is going to be a godly man, because that's, how you were created. You created in his image, so you should live out the way that he intended to have the most optimal life. So what does dominion and faith mean? Well, in the beginning in Genesis, it talked about how, the first instruction God gave man is to have dominion, which is basically have power and rule over the earth. Not over people, but over the animals, over the plants, over, the environment, right? So when you come from the sense of having power, having dominion, then you understand that you can will things into existence, aka confidence, which goes into the next part, which is faith. So dominion is an action. Approaching that girl with faith, you're combining faith and dominion. Because if you just had faith, you would think, oh, she would just come to me. And if you just had dominion, then you would approach, but you would approach from a place of feeling insecure, from a place of, damn, is she gonna like me? Is she gonna resonate with with my vibe? But when you come from the place of, man, I really love myself, I feel really good about myself, I know I'm a great guy, I know I put in the work on myself daily. We're gonna talk about the work in a second. But once you know that, hey, I do these things for myself and I'm attracted to this girl and I can make things happen, then your approach is going to be different. When you approach, you exercise your dominion by having eye contact. Eye contact is going to be a major key. So you walk up, eye contact, and then you exhibit your faith by assuming she already likes you. You assume the desired outcome. You assume that she wants to talk to you. You assume that she wants to hang out. You assume that all these things are true. And even if it turns out not to be true, right? Let's say you get rejected. That doesn't diminish you, because you have such a high self-value that you just look at that as her missing out. So you just move on with your life. And the only way that you cultivate this high self-value is when you're proud of yourself. And the way that you become proud of yourself is, again, getting closer to this image that God has created man to want to attain. We're all subconsciously seeking this godly self, this highest version of ourselves, unconsciously. Now, we may have different methods to get our needs met and get there, but ultimately we're seeking this version of a Jesus-like masculine figure, because he has the most power, dominion, glory, honor on the earth. And that's what every man wants. Every man wants power, dominion, glory, honor, all these different things, and Jesus has those. So we're all subconsciously trying to reach for that ideal, and society has kind of brainwashed us away from that ideal to have us seeking things of the flesh and of things that are lower nature and more in our fear-based mentality. So as we start to do the work to reprogram our mindset and therefore take different actions in life, once you realize God's design is for us to be a protector, you're gonna start hitting the gym. A provider, you're gonna start trying to make money. A provisioner, you're gonna start to read the Bible, you're gonna start to learn more, you're gonna start to gain knowledge, gain wisdom. Being in the Word of God, being present, being at peace. You're gonna start to meditate, you're gonna start to journal, you're gonna start to get rid of your own traumas and unconscious blocks. And as you do this self-improvement, you're going to become a more attractive individual. You're going to become a more desirable person. And even tying this with semen retention, that's another godly principle that he has given us. And when we do that principle, when we don't release to lust, when we don't release our seed, then we become more attractive again. You know, we can all attest, if you've been on semen retention or tried it out, you know, that once you do, women start coming. There's a bee over there. You know, the bees come to honey. But you know, it's so real. So, you know, I'm not saying, when I say that the key to Rizz, the key to attracting women is being yourself, I'm not saying to show up as a lower version of yourself. First, you have to understand who you truly are. And you're an infinite creator made in God's image to have dominion over the earth. And once you come to grips with that and you start to understand where you're inadequate, where you're not meeting the ideal, where the gap is from where you are now to, again, that Jesus-like image, because Jesus was God in the flesh, so that's the best image we have of it, of what it looks like. You know, once we start to bridge that gap through working out, through making more money, through improving our appearance, and again, these are all things pouring into yourself, because once you do this, you're going to increase your self-worth, self-value, and as your self-worth and self-value goes up, that projects out into the world, and it's like a mirror principle. So now people start to treat you like you're worth more. They start to treat you like you're more valuable. And this is all what attraction is people are attracted to things that they deem as valuable. And what a woman deems as valuable is someone who's capable of helping her to survive and reproduce the highest quality of children. That's like a biological need we all have, is reproduction and survival. So a woman is ultimately looking for those traits subconsciously. And, you know, this is where we get a lot of the confusion on what they like. You know, we think they like money or somebody being arrogant or all this stuff. You know, they like the traits of faith and dominion, but ultimately that faith and dominion has to be grounded in a foundation of love, and love is who you truly are. So, you know, if this message hopefully resonates, hopefully helps you out on your journey to, you know, become a more attractive person. But, you know, if there's emotions of fear coming up, anxiety coming up, anger coming up, these negative emotional states, ask yourself why. You know, why are these negative emotional states coming up when you hear this stuff? And it's usually because of, you know, just trauma and stuff that we've had in our past. You know, getting rejected, you know, having a girl leave us, all this different stuff that makes us think that, oh, you know, to get women, I have to put on this persona of being something different because that's what they seem that they like. But, you know, just consider the option that you were in a lower place in your life. You were in a less aware state in your life to where you were attracting a lower quality of woman, and you had less discernment about who's worth your value because you didn't pour into yourself the right way, and you were doing habits that made you weak instead of strong, or weak instead of powerful. So you were coming from a place of not good judgment, and therefore you chose a bad woman. That could be a possibility. And once you start to tell yourself that story, you know, instead of the one of all women are like this or all this and they only want this and they only want this, blah, 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 then you can start to heal, you know, where you're inadequate by, again, getting back in tune with the Father, understanding our role, purpose as a man, understanding what that blueprint looks like, and executing that. So if you're curious about what the blueprint looks like more, there's a video on my channel, what to focus on as a young man. Just type that in on the search bar with my name, King J. And, you know, that should provide a lot of guidance. But again, hope this video helped, hope it made sense. If you like the video, comment what you want to see next. I'll be sure to tap in and make that video for you. DM me on Instagram any questions that you have, and I'll be sure to answer them on a video. And I will catch all of y'all in the next vid. Peace.